Hi, I watched You Are My Glory, and here's my review. The story revolves around two former classmates, Jing, who became a famous actress, and Hyo, who became an astrological engineer as he always dreamed to be. Jin had a crush on him when they were in school back then, and since they left school, they haven't seen each other for many years. One day, she meets him again. She kind of make it happen as she needs to learn to play a game. For this game she is endorsing, she needs to be able to play at a very good level, and that's how they reunite again. My overall thoughts about this drama is I really liked it. I was a bit scared going in because for some reason I believed it was 40 episodes, so I was really scared. But I think they pace the drama really well, and that's the key, I think, for a romance to work for this long, even though it's only 32 episodes in the end. It's a bit like The Day of Becoming You. I think they paced it correctly, contrary to some dramas, because it's not a spoil, not really, but if you start dating in the 5 first episodes, and in total you have 32, 36 episodes, what are you going to put to fill these episodes? So I'm glad this drama doesn't fall into that. Honestly, I think the relationship in this drama is so nice. They feel really natural. A natural couple with natural interactions, a lot of complicity between the two. They tease each other, they joke together. It's something you really don't see a lot. Of course, in dramas, it's always a bit like the guy teases the girl he likes. You know, it's a bit of a thing, but not this kind of teasing. It's a sweet teasing, and really they just go at each other sometimes, and it just feels so natural. As well, their interactions more romantic as a couple feel very natural too. So it was really a delight to watch. The only thing maybe that I didn't really like with the drama is everything concerning Yuto's job. I realized recently that I'm not that interested in anything that has to do with the sky, and in Dramaland I don't watch dramas to look at people work. No, I don't want to watch that. So the mix of the two, when we see him work, it's really not my favorite moments. Sometimes it's a bit boring, but thankfully they didn't put too many of them in there. Also, I just remember that, and I forgot to put it on my paper, but something that really stood out to me in this drama is how we actually kind of see more of Yuto's side at some point, when usually we see the girl's side for this. But in this drama, it was Yuto's side, and I really love that. I can't really say it now, so I'm going to talk about it in the spoil part a bit later. The OST is pretty nice, but overall it didn't really stood out that much, and I want to talk about the actors. I knew Yang from the first Lost Storm series, if I'm not mistaken, but that's it. From what I heard of him, people said his acting was a bit stern, no much real facial expressions, so I don't know if it's just because of his roles he had or if it's him, but in this drama he really shows a big panel of expressions, so yeah, I kind of fell in love. And the actress that, I'm sorry, but I'm really not going to try to pronounce her name because I have no idea how you pronounce it, really, no idea, but she's incredible. She's a really good actress. I really spent such a good time in front of this drama. I considered giving it maybe 9.5 just because of the astrological part that is not really my favorite. A lot of the time too, it's very patriotical. I don't know if you say that in English. They are not the only country to do it, of course, we all know. Another big country likes to do it too, but it kind of makes you uncomfortable sometimes, like, yeah, sure, okay, you're the big country, you're so powerful and everything, but as an outsider, you're like, yeah, okay, move on. So it often comes every time with the aerospace scenes. Yeah, it's doubled down. But no, I thought that's not enough just to take this half point for the drama. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, if you haven't watched it, I recommend you to watch it. And now I'm going to go into the spoil part because I want to discuss just a few little things more in detail. First thing I'm going to talk about is the thing I completely forgot to write on my paper, and it's about Yuto that I talked about a bit earlier. In this drama, at some point, if you've watched it, you know that Yuto tries to repress his feelings because he thinks that he won't have the time to have a girlfriend, that she will be unhappy and everything. But usually when this happens, we see the side of the girl a lot more than we see the guy. So we always see the girl being all sad and in pain, but not the guy. So it's almost like the guy is fine, you know? But in this drama, they do the complete opposite. We almost don't see Jingjing because it's not about her. It's not a problem from her side. So we actually see the side of Yuto a lot more. We see him struggle, we see him in so much pain and kind of despair because he likes her so much. He wants to be with her. But his job, his dream job too, won't allow him. Well, that's what he thinks. But I really liked that we stick to him for so long through this, seeing him like this. Yeah, you know, I think I just like seeing vulnerable men who show vulnerability, but he also shows his friend. I mean, too often I feel like in Dramaland, friends are kind of used as just comic reliefs or just people that the main characters can kind of trash around. But in this drama, even if we don't see him that much, at some point Yuto kind of breaks down in front of him. He starts crying and really kind of crumbling in front of him. And his friend just listens to him. And I don't know, I found this scene so heartwarming, but at the same time so heartbreaking. I really loved that he has a friend, and yes, he can talk about these things with him. It's not because he's a guy that he can't. And Alright, next I talked about how I like, and I really love, their relationship and how they feel very real, very not like a couple from a drama. I don't really know how to describe them, but they feel real. It's just, I think, the teasing and sometimes just the going back at each other, like I said. For example, there was this time when Jingjing and Yuto got caught by his mother that they are together, and to kind of save herself, she goes on like, oh yeah, your son is such a bad guy and everything, you know, she really puts him under a bad light, but it's because he had started it and she didn't want to look like the bad guy. And so she does that for him. And for some reason, you actually don't really think he's going to do the same. But he does. I knew he was going to do something. But I really didn't think he was going to do the same. So he goes to the parents like, your daughter, she's my girlfriend. And then he goes on saying the same bad things she said to his mother. But it wasn't just done in a comical way just to make you laugh. It really showed a lot of complicity, a lot of, like, they can have fun together. They can play together, they can joke together. It's okay, they really function like normal human being. And it's the example I took because it really stood out. But there are a lot of other moments when they just tease each other so sweetly like this, and it's so good, it's so good. To finish on their relationship, I think, I don't know, I can't remember every drama I watched, but for sure they are in the top best relationships I've seen. The only real conflict we get is the conflict at the beginning, because Yuto likes her, wants to be with her, she likes him too, she confessed, but he's like, I can't because of my job. That's the only conflict we really get. Otherwise, they are just so understanding of each other. They are so supportive too. Like, he helps her in her job as much as he can, and she does too. She supports him. She tries to learn about his job, so they can talk about things. They really respect each other, and they give each other space when they need it. And the communication in this drama, I think it's the only time, maybe not the only time, but one of the few rare times I see a couple this open about communication. They really tell each other everything. They don't hide things. Like, if one has a problem, they say it. They are a couple. They are supposed to share things and resolve them together. So they have no communication problem at all. The only one they actually have, and it's not even long, it's just a few minutes, is when she wants to surprise him. But it backfires because he gets really kind of mad actually that she kind of did that. And she acknowledged it, and she realizes it was not a really good thing to do. And she apologized. And it just resolves itself like this. Like, I did a bad thing, I'm sorry. And him too can say sorry. He apologizes a few times in the drama. And it's actually sad that I have to point this as a very good point for a drama. But too often in Dramaland, no one ever says sorry. Even for the female lead, I realize. And I don't know, just them saying sorry to each other feels, just so sweet. And then they hug each other so passionately, and they whisper just next to each other's ear. I swear, this drama really got me all over the place. What a drama. The last little thing I want to mention is actually not really important. I even wondered if I should talk about it because it's really nothing important, but it is the all part with the game. At first, I thought Yuto was going to be very mad when he would learn that she kind of skimmed around to make him come, that she knew who it was already. But no, it doesn't happen, and I was really surprised, but in a good way. They really managed to make it like it was not a terrible thing to do. This game is clearly a copy-paste of League of Legends. It's the exact same. At first, I thought it was, but then I realized the characters are really different. But otherwise, the map, the setting, everything is really almost exactly the same. So this game is a copy-paste of League of Legends, and it's a hard game. You can't just get good in a month. Really, really good in a month if you are really, really bad. Luckily, she's someone who learns pretty fast, and with Yuto, who's really good at the game, and she realizes it. I used to do that a lot when I played League of Legends with people who were better than me. We would play games together, and they would explain some things. They would say, yeah, this is much better to do it at this time. If you want to play him, maybe just go more of this. If you're against this guy, it's better to take armor defense rather than magic defense. It's normal. You learn from more experienced players who are ranked higher than you. And it's true that by playing with and against higher people, you tend to progress a lot more. So that's a fact. However, maybe the game is easier than League of Legends, I don't know. But to go from, I don't know, where did it start even? Let's say unranked. Going from unranked to, I don't know, where did she go? Ace? Was it Ace, the last thing? I don't know, but already when she said Diamond, I was like, what? You went to Diamond in less than a month? How much did Yuto carry you there? So I think, 1 month is a bit not long enough, but like I said, is it even worth mentioning? I don't know, but I just wanted to mention it because I'm familiar with League of Legends, so yeah. But otherwise, it felt very natural, even more since she knows it's Yuto. He's the guy she had a crush on when she was in high school. She's not even asking a random person. She knows, and she kind of takes this opportunity at the same time to meet him. It's not just about the game. So yeah, I really liked the whole part, and also the competition. For some reason, I was so nervous. You kind of knew the outcome in this kind of drama. You know it's going to work out. You know it's okay. But for some reason, I was so nervous with them. And actually, a thing I really liked, but it's a bit fan-fiction-y, if I could say it like this, when for the second game she asks Yuto to come on stage to help. I mean, if that's not the scene from a fanfiction, for example, the singer on stage asks for the girl he likes to come on stage, you know, this kind of thing. Although it's kind of fanfiction-y and you're like, ah, yeah, of course, you know, you maybe if you don't really like that, you could cringe at it. But I was just squealing in my bed watching it. It was just so cool having them really play the competition together. Yeah. So yeah, I think you can see how much I liked this drama. If you haven't watched it and you're somehow watching this video, I hope you can give it a try. I don't want to say I'm sure you're not going to regret it, but I'm almost certain you're not going to regret it. If you've watched it already, tell me your thoughts about it, because I know some people who tried it and didn't like it. Sometimes I know it was the romance who was a bit. Some other people I saw didn't really like the thing about all the gaming stuff, and it's a shame, I think. Yeah. But you know, to each their own, and as I always say, you know, give it a try if you want to, and if you like it, great for you. And if you don't, yeah, it's a shame, but it's okay. You probably like something I don't like. So that's it for me on this drama. Bye bye.